Okay, let's talk about the default behavior for the this keyword. Okay, these are the only exceptions to the default behavior, and also add event listener. So how does the default behavior actually work? You have a definition site. This is the site where your function that's evaluating this is defined, line 13. Line 17 is the call site where you call this. Now, the default behavior is all dependent on the call site. Right now, the call site is line 17 to the left. Is there a dot? No? Then it's the window object. This is what we get. Okay, let's try one with the dot. Let's do const obj1 is equal to an object. Name will be obj1, and then let's see, a method. I'll call this show this too, and it will just be a reference to our global show this. Now, what do we do? obj1 dot show this too. We get an object, this object. Now, a lot of people will say that's because this method that's evaluating this is inside of object one. So this will refer to it. But actually, that's not true. Remember, it does not matter what the definition site is. It's the call site. The call site says, oh my God, there's a dot notation. And then it's going to say, is the thing left of the dot a type of object? Yes, it is. If it is, point to that object, obj1. We can even prove this. Const test is now equal to obj1 dot show this too. Show this too. Okay. And now we're just going to call test like this. You see how it changed from obj1 to the global? That's because look at the call site. There is no dot notation. Okay. Even though it's still referencing the same thing, the call site only cares about the syntax. Okay. All right. Let's do something that's a little bit harder. Instead of this, let's make it a function. Function, and then it's just going to console.log. Let's see. First, this. And then now I'm going to define a function expression const, let's call this show this 3 is equal to function. And let's just say console.log, nested this. Oh, comma should be outside. This, okay. And then now underneath that, but still inside of show this 2, I'm going to call show this 3. Okay, now when I call this show this 2, what do you think we'll get for the show this 3? Let's see. Let's do obj1 dot show this 2. Let's see what we get on the right. Okay, let's ignore the first one from the global. Okay, so the first this, as expected, is obj1. Remember, because the first this, its call site is right here. So there's a dot, and then it's obj1. Now, how come the second nested this is the window object? Well, where's its definition site? Its definition site is right here. Where is its call site? Its call site is here. Is there a dot to the left of the call site? No. So it will be global. Now, it doesn't matter that you're calling this inside of a function, inside of an object. It doesn't matter. It will always point to the global object if there is no dot to the left of it. Okay, now let's do something else. Let's see. Let's talk about exceptions. Let's talk about, instead of this, what if this function is just now an arrow function? Okay, you see how both of them will now be what? The global window object. Okay, even though this call site has obj1. So when you use an arrow function, it will override the default behavior. Okay, so that's why the value of this is no longer obj1, even though the call site says obj1. Okay, so be very careful when you're using an arrow function. Now, let's talk about something else too. Let's talk about call. So let's do const obj3, name obj3. Okay, what if we do obj1 dot show this to dot call, and we pass in obj3. How come we don't get obj3, but they're still both the are global objects. That's because arrow functions will override even the call. Okay. Now, what do we change this back to a regular function? See, now when you do obj.call obj3, the first this will refer to obj3. Notice that even though we use .call and this is nested inside, show this 3 is still the global, because if we look at its call site, there's no dots, there's no .calls, right? So it will automatically be the global object. Okay, I hope that was helpful.